Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 23rd, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Friday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Friday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to talk about Tropical Storm Bret, which you see currently on the screen here, kind of poorly organized this afternoon over the Central Caribbean Sea. Also, we're going to take a look at the Tropical Storm Cindy as well over the Central Tropical Atlantic. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, take a look at the watches, warning, and advisories. And also, we got some severe weather to talk about for today, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So stick around through the entire video so you get a chance to see the entire thing and see what is going on in the weather department video here, because we got a lot of stuff going on. So, but if you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. And let's dive on into your forecast now. Alrighty, as you can see here, we're looking at the satellite rotation currently right here. Most of the activity is off to the north and east of the center, and also east of the center as well. Here are the Leeward Islands currently over here. The system is currently, like I said, it's in the Central Caribbean Sea. Here are the islands. Just be alert for that. Currently, the highest wind gust I seen came out of there was 69 miles per hour out of the Leeward Islands. But I figured in the mountain regions and somewhere in the Leeward Island, the north side of the Leeward Island, there probably was hurricane force winds in the storm. So just want to give everybody a heads up on that. So if you might see sometime later on today, you could see somewhere they might give us some more weather reports in the Leeward Islands. You might see a wind gust over 75 miles per hour there. So that would be hurricane force wind. Just like I said, even though if you don't get hurricane force conditions, hurricane force wind, a hurricane, you may get the hurricane force winds. And I think some areas did get hurricane force wind in the Leeward Islands. Like I said, all the reported stations had not reported in, so just wanted to let everybody know that. Alright, let's take a look at some information on Bret. That's this for the satellite loop of him. Let's take a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center, and then we're going to look at some other information on Bret. Let's see, we're still waiting on it. Like I say, it takes a little bit for this computer to catch up, but we're fixing to take a look at the 11 a.m. Tropical Storm Bret advisory. This was Friday at 11 a.m. Currently, that's the position. That's what you're seeing on the radar. The satellite loop, the center rotation. At 11 a.m., the current position was 13.3 north, longitude 64.7 west. Maximum sustained wind still remained at 60 miles per hour with higher gusts, and movement was to the west at 21 miles per hour. Currently, the wind at 60 miles per hour, still classified as a tropical storm, that which is 39 miles per hour to 73 miles per hour for a tropical storm. Currently, it's 8 a.m. Saturday. It's still a tropical storm, just north of Venezuela. By 8 p.m. Saturday evening, it's just north of Colombia in South America, and then it turns into a tropical depression afterward. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it. Will it continue to go west? Will it go like this and wind up in the Bay of Campeche? Still some questions to be answered on that part. We still got to see what's going to happen with that. The hurricane model, let's take a look at them past the longer range. What the forecast cone is showing, they show it to about right here. See, most of it do take it into Central America, and some do turn it into the northwestern Caribbean Sea. and some one do take it over in the Bay of Campeche. So, like I said, it's something. We're just gonna have to keep a check on it and see what happens. But I will keep an eye on it and see what happens with this system. The National Hurricane Center, as soon as their last advisory, they will drop it, and we'll just have to keep a check on it by satellite composite after that. All right, let's take a look at the intensity guidance for this storm. Currently, it's about 45 knots, so that makes it 60 miles per hour wind. Still, all of them still got it as a tropical storm. All of them drops it off about 36 to 48 hours to a tropical depression. The two models try to trend it back up to a tropical storm. The HWFI and the CEM2 computer model is still trying to show it move back to a tropical storm. We'll have to keep an eye on that just to see, and also this EGR2 computer model is trying to keep it as a keep it as 1-2, and also this DSHP computer model. There's about 4 computer models still trying to keep it as a tropical storm as it moves through the Caribbean Sea. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if Bret continues his tropical storm status, or do he weakens to a tropical depression like everybody's thinking, or the Hurricane Center thinking as well. There's a possibility it could remain a tropical storm, but I'm leaning more towards a tropical depression and kind of remain a tropical depression and a remnant low over the Central Caribbean Sea. So that's something we have to keep an eye on. The other models, let's take a look at the GPS Ensemble. That's a little bit longer range model. According to it do take it into the Bay of Campeche, and also maybe into the western eastern portion of Mexico, or up towards southwest Texas. So something we're going to have to keep an eye on, because like I said, this storm may not be over with yet. All right, let's move on to tropical storm Cindy. A little bit better organized. Still look like it's fighting some wind shear on the northwestern side of the storm, because it's kind of breaking up in the last frame, but it's still got a pretty good swath of intensity right here in the middle of the storm. But like I say, it's the dry air is trying to fight it. Like I said, some northwestern portion of Leeward Islands could get maybe a glazing blow by this tropical cyclone on the south side. So just want to give everybody let everybody know in the Leeward Islands, I would not be surprised, that could happen. Let's take a look at some current information on Tropical Storm Cindy. We're going to take a look at the National Hurricane Center forecast cone, and then we're going to take a look at the computer model run. Okay, currently at 11 a.m. the wind field is getting a little bit bigger. 11 a.m. current position was 12.5 north, longitude 48.0 west. Maximum sustained winds were near 50 miles per hour with higher gusts. Movement was to the west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. Currently, like I said, still a tropical storm with winds of 39 miles per hour to 73 miles per hour. So it's classified as a tropical storm. If it becomes 74 miles per hour or higher, it will become a hurricane. Right now, currently projected just to remain a tropical storm. So we just have to wait and see. And by 8 a.m. Monday, the center of the storm should be here. Like I said, it could be a little further to the south, a little further to the north. I'm thinking it may drift a little bit back to the southwest of this cone, and it may kind of some of the south side of the storm could clip these northern islands here, even portion of Puerto Rico. May get some rain off of Tropical Storm Cindy, and maybe a little gusty wind as well. By 8 a.m. Wednesday, it shows it as a tropical depression. That's pretty much just a remnant low. Will it continue to the west? Will it continue to turn to the north? Most of the computer model turns it to the north between the United States and Bermuda. So we'll just have to keep a check on that and see what happens. Alright, here's a look at the computer model runs from the for the hurricane models. Generally, like I said, that's the current position. All of it kicks it off to the northwest. See one do, see the one over here, COTI, kind of do keep it close to the island. There's another one right here, the CM2, kind of keeps it close to the islands there as well. The rest of them are pretty well to the west, so it would not have no effect. Here's Bermuda. As you can see, a little dot right here. I'm going to put a little magnifying glass on top of Bermuda. And most of the computer model is kind of turning it toward Bermuda. So you guys in Bermuda need to pay attention to Cindy, because it could affect you later on down the road. So, but I'll keep everybody up to date on it to see what happens with that system. All right, here look at the intensity guidance of the storm. As we can see, it's about 45 knots, so that makes it 50 mile per hour wind. Currently, all computer models keeping it at a tropical storm. One tried to drop it off to a tropical depression and doing 120 hours. Rest of them keeps it at a tropical storm. One rarely do take it into a Cat 1 hurricane, but most of the computer models are in pretty good agreement of keeping it as a tropical storm at this time. Alrighty, so that's pretty much on Tropical Storm Cindy. Let's take a look at the GEPS ensembles here real quick, and then we'll move on to the weather radar. Currently, this is where the current position. See, all the computer models do take it off to the northwest, and then generally to the north, and kind of takes it up to the north towards the Newfoundland area, and also over toward portions of the northeastern United States. We'll have to keep an eye on that just to see that a couple models even takes it towards South Carolina. But I'm agreeing with this model here to keep it going to the north. How far north will it go? Right now, I don't know. Just have to wait and see. I will keep an eye on it and see what happens with Tropical Storm Cindy as time marches on. Alright, let's move on to the weather radar across the nation. Get back to our local weather forecast here in South Carolina, in the United States here. That's was a tropical weather update in this forecast package. As you can see, we got scattered showers over portions of southern Canada. We got more widespread showers over portions of Michigan, also in the portion of Pennsylvania, and offshore over the coastal waters of the southeast and mid-Atlantic regions. State, and also toward the New York City area as well. We got a huge cluster of showers and storms down in the Gulf of Mexico, just moved off Louisiana coastline there too as well. Got some scattered showers around Bahamas. Also got some scattered showers around the Puerto Rico island from off of Tropical Storm Bret. Also got some scattered activity over portions of Cuba, and also down in the Florida there as well. Got some scattered showers around the Hawaiian Chain Island, central and south portion of Alaska. Got some scattered showers there as well. Guam radar is currently back up, and we had scattered showers and storms around your vicinity as well. We got a cluster of shower and thunderstorms over Oklahoma with scattered activity over Texas and also into New Mexico. We got a cluster of showers and maybe some thunderstorms as well up in North and South Dakota, moving into Minnesota. Also, we got more showers, maybe some snow showers, maybe mixed in, and maybe a rumble of thunder over portions of Wyoming back into Idaho as well. Also, northeastern portions of Nevada, Utah, and also scattered about in portions of Montana. Also into Idaho and Oregon as well, and maybe a little bit down in New Mexico also. All right, let's move on to the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. Okay, we still got those air quality alerts up for portion of western Michigan, also northern portion of Indiana, southern Indiana, Missouri and Illinois border, also in the portion of northeast Illinois, also all of Wisconsin, and also into eastern and southern portions of Minnesota. So we got air quality alerts over here in portions of southwestern Arizona. We got some excessive heat watches also over here in southwestern portions of New Mexico. Also some Arizona. Red flag warnings also in effect for eastern Arizona, southeastern Utah, eastern portions of Colorado, and much of central and northern portions and southern portions of New Mexico. Also, we have excessive heat warnings in effect for South Texas. Heat advisories also in effect for Texas. Also into Central Texas, North Texas, and West Texas, and Southeast New Mexico as well. Also, we got a severe thunderstorm warning, some flash flood watches, severe thunderstorm warnings in Oklahoma. Also, we got some excessive heat warnings, advisories. Heat advisory. Excuse me, heat advisories for northeastern portions of Oklahoma. Also, we got some wind advisory reports of Utah, so northwestern portion of Colorado. High wind warnings in effect for southern portions of Wyoming. I've got a severe thunderstorm warning right there in portions of central Wyoming. Also, we have a winter weather advisory right there for portions of southern Montana, and also some flash flood watches there as well in east central and eastern portion of Montana. River flood warning still in effect for a portion of Nevada, also into portions of South Dakota, also into Nebraska, also down here in portions of Mississippi. Got some special marine warnings down here as well offshore over the coastal water. Special weather statement for that line of severe weather you seen down in portions. Some strong thunderstorms down in portions of southeast Louisiana. Also, excessive heat warning. Also, heat advisory also for south portions of Florida. And also, we got them flood watches in effect for North Florida, the Big Bend area of Florida, and also southern portions of Georgia. We got a few flood advisories sporadically scattered about here in portions of South Carolina as well, and also right here in portions of Mississippi. All right, Alaska looks good, and around the Hawaii and Chain Island got some gale warnings in effect for you guys there. All right, Storm Prediction Center time for the next 4 days. All right, we got general thunderstorms in portions of the northeast United States. We got a marginal risk also over here toward Washington, D.C., up toward the Maryland area as well, and also eastern Virginia. General thunderstorm for the southeastern United States as well. Also more general thunderstorms over here from California to Washington State. Also into portions of the northern portion of the United States from Oregon, Idaho, Montana, all the way over to portions of Wisconsin, down to Texas and Louisiana. We have marginal risk from Texas all the way into portions Kansas. Also went back into Iowa, southwest Minnesota. Also back over to North and South Dakota, Montana, and also into Wyoming. Slight risk of severe weather in portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas. Also slight risk and enhanced risk effect for South Dakota, Kansas, and also over here in eastern portions of Wyoming as well for severe weather. If you're in the, excuse me, sorry about that, my computer's updating the information. If you're in the enhanced risk, this includes Rapid City, South Dakota, North Platte, Nebraska, Gillette, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and Perry, South Dakota. Slight risk, this includes Plano, Texas, Garland, Texas, Lubbock, Texas, Urban, Texas, Amarillo, Texas. Marginal risk, this includes Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Also up towards Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Omaha, Nebraska. All right, tornadoes, probability, 2% in the green, 5% in the brown. Your cities and states include Gillette, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Torrington, Wyoming, Douglas, Wyoming, 2%, Greeley, Colorado, Rapid City, South Dakota, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming, and Sheridan, Wyoming. Winds, probability for today, 5% over here in the Washington, D.C. area, toward Philadelphia, down toward eastern Virginia, and also down here in Texas, all the way into Montana, South and North Dakota. 15% down here in Texas and Oklahoma. Significant severe weather for damaging winds over Panhandle of Texas. Also, we have a 30, 15, and 30% up here in significant severe weather over portions of South Dakota and Kansas, and also back in the portions of Colorado. Significant severe weather generally range from Lubbock, Texas, Rapid City, South Dakota, Norfolk, Nebraska, Plainview, Texas, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, 30%, Rapid City, South Dakota, Spearfish, South Dakota. 15%, Plano, Texas, Garland, Texas, Amarillo, Texas. 5% include Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Omaha, Nebraska. All right, let's take a look at the hail probability. 5% to brown, 15% to yellow, 30% in the red. And the significant severe weather, pretty much over Kansas, portion of Colorado, also over here in portion of northeast Colorado, all the way through Wyoming and southern Montana. This is Rapid City, South Dakota, Garden City, Kansas, Gillette, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Sterling, Colorado. 30%, Gillette, Wyoming, all the way to Torrington, Wyoming. Surrounding areas. 15%, Lubbock, Texas, all the way to Garden City, Kansas, and surrounding areas. 5%, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all the way to St. Angelo, Texas, and surrounding areas. All right, let's take a look at day 2. Because it's slowly coming up, but we're getting it. Okay, we got general thunderstorm for the northeastern United States, portion of the southeast, also we're down in the south, upper Midwest, also over in the Pacific Northwest as well. We have a marginal risk over here in portions of Texas, also down in Louisiana, Mississippi, also over here in Arkansas, North Mississippi, all the way into southern Minnesota. Slight risk of severe weather, southern Minnesota, all the way down into portions of Missouri and Illinois. Here in the slight risk, Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Delmont, Iowa, Kansas City, Missouri, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Marginal risk, this includes Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right. Tornado probability, 2%. Southern Minnesota, back down into Missouri and Illinois, 5% over much of Iowa. This includes Delmont, Iowa, Waterloo, Iowa, Iowa City, Iowa, Ames, Iowa, and West Delmont, Iowa. 2%. This includes St. Louis, Missouri, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Springfield, Illinois, Pereira, Illinois, and Davenport, Iowa. Winds for your Saturday. 5% to brown over in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, back up to Minnesota. 5% in Missouri, all the way into portion of Minnesota, Illinois, and Iowa. 15%, Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Delmont, Iowa, Kansas City, Kansas, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 5%, Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the hail probability, 5% down here in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, also in the portions of Oklahoma and Arkansas, all the way up into Minnesota. The significant threat for hail will be over southern portion of Minnesota, back down into Iowa, and also into portions of Missouri. That would be the significant severe weather will be Delmont, Iowa, Council Bluff, Iowa, Ames, Iowa, West Delmont, Iowa, and Mankato, Minnesota. Sorry about that. But anyway, 15% Delmont, Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Columbia, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, St. Joseph, Missouri, and Waterloo, Iowa. And 5% include Kansas City, Missouri, New Orleans, Louisiana, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, that was the hail probability. Let's move on to day number 3 for more severe weather across the nation. Okay, we got general thunderstorms in the Pacific Northwest, portion of the Midwest, also down in the deep south, southeastern United States, and also into the northeastern U.S. We have a marginal risk in the green areas here. This extended from portion of Oklahoma through Arkansas, all the way into portion of Ohio as well. And also we have a slight risk in portion of Ohio through Kentucky, Tennessee, back into portion of Arkansas and Missouri. Slight risks include Columbus, Ohio, Nashville, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky. Marginal risks include Indianapolis, Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, Cleveland, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Probability for severe weather. We have a 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow. In the yellow slashed area, that will be the significant area for severe weather. This will include Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky, and Clarksville, Tennessee. 15% includes Columbus, Ohio, Nashville, Tennessee, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Fayetteville, Kentucky as well. Also 5% include Indianapolis, Indiana, Memphis, Tennessee, Cleveland, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Alright, let's move on to day number 4 because we do have more severe weather to talk about in this day 4 outlook. As you can see here, day 4, we have severe weather. Let me click on day 4 so we can stay there. But anyway, we got some up here around the Washington, D.C. area, through Virginia, through North Carolina, and even portions of central and northern South Carolina for severe thunderstorm. This includes Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Raleigh, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, all the way down to Columbia, South Carolina as well for your Monday. So we'll keep our eye on this here because things could get a little bumpy here in the Carolinas coming up on Monday of next week. So just want to give everybody a heads up on that. I hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, and I will catch you back in the next one. And also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got.